Yo, what's happening, folks? Yeah, it's me, your boy Tabo, and this is another session of JavaScript for beginners. And the last time we talked about arrays and we did some for loops. So this time we're coming to objects. Now, objects are another data type, like for instance a string variable, which holds text, and then you've got a number variable, you've got a boolean, and then basically the object is another type of, you can say, variable or a data type. But this one is very interesting and very dynamic, and soon you will learn about object-oriented programming, and yes, that's what objects are all about. So without further ado and too much explaining, I will just jump into it so that you can start learning, folks. So basically what an object is that an object is dynamic in a sense that it can hold many different values. It can hold arrays within it, it can hold a boolean within it, it can hold a string value, it can hold a number value in it, it can hold all of these different values in one object. Just like you do with a normal variable, and then I will call this object obj, and then you say curly braces. Now within these curly braces, this is where you would start creating your properties. So the name would be, I will use my name, Tabo, and then we'll say surname. Surname is Modise, which is still my name. Then I will say I'll say occupation. I'll say 3D artist / programmer. And then I'd say marital status, or maybe let's scrap that one. Let's say age. Age would be I'd say 36, and let's say allergies. I'd say false, right? I have no allergies. And here actually with this, I can just make it, yes, 36 like that. Okay, so for now let's just leave it as that. And so I will show you, if you wanted to access all this information, this is how you would do it. So we're going to console.log all of this, and I will say obj, and then you say .name. This is how you would console.log all of this information. So I will go there and say, what have I done now? Let me have a look. Okay, sorry, my bad. Let me just remove that. Let's go back. Yes, so the name is there, Tabo. So let's just say I will say console.log, and I will just make a little statement. I will say does Tabo have any allergies? And then I will say obj dot allergies, and let's see what that does. Say, oh, there we go. Okay, let me just put this so just to make it even more clear. Say, does Tabo have any allergies? It says false. I do not have any allergies. So here's my name. Here's this first one right here, obj.name, and it printed out my name. And then the second one, I say obj.allergies. So basically this is how you would access all of this information. You just first write the name of the object, and then you say dot, and then you write the name of the property which is inside the object. There are different ways that one can access this information. So another way to do it would be, I'll say .log, console.log it, now say obj. And if you remember with arrays, this is how we would access the different values which are in the different indexes of an array. So here you would use a similar concept, but instead you would just put in the name of the property, and then this is how you would also, okay, let's choose something different just so that it's more dynamic. I'll say occupation. So let's see what that does. There you go, 3D artist / programmer. So you could either do it this way, you could say obj.allergies, or you could say obj and then square brackets and then write the name of the property, but you would write it within quotation marks, just as you would with any string text that you would want to output. So this is how you would do it. You'd say obj and then you would write this, the name of the property. So this is one way. And so let's see if we can create a, okay, so now let's see this another way. This is how we're going to create a method. So I'll call it test math, and then I'll say function. Okay, and then we say log, rather let's say return name. Right, and then okay, so now we're gonna console.log. Oh no, let's just, okay, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Let's console.log. Let's say obj dot test math. Right? Should be like this. Empty string. Okay, so this is how we do it. Yes, that was my bad. This is how you would actually print it out. You have to state this dot name. What this stands for, it just means that you are trying to get the value of name, but this emphasizes the fact that name belongs to this particular object, because we are calling this function or this method inside of this object. So this dot name means that yes, I would like to access the value of the name of this particular name that belongs to this object. Otherwise, if you just say name, then it does not know which name you're talking about or which variable or property this is. It assumes that this is a foreign object, but this emphasizes the fact that no, this is a variable which exists within this object. So this is how you would create a method. And what you could do is that you could make this method return all the values of your properties. So let's just say return. So I'm gonna console.log this just to make it easy. Say and then I will use formatting. Should be inside. My name is, and then I will, if you remember formatting, this is how it works, and I'll say this dot name. My name is, and my surname is, and then again I will say this dot surname, and then we will make a full stop, and then I will then wait. A new line. I want to make a new line. So this is my name and surname. Say I work as a, again, this dot occupation. Okay, here I can also add my age, and I am age. I'll say again curly braces, so this dot age, new line. Okay, my occupation is, and I have and my allergy, let's say allergy status is false. Yeah, I'll just say false. Yeah. Say this dot allergies, and then full stop. Okay. So what's gonna happen is that when we call test meth, it will basically print out all of this. All right. So let's try it out, and let's see what test meth is gonna do. My name is Tabo and my surname is Modise, and I am age 36/n. Okay, this is weird because wait. Let me try this instead. Maybe it's me. Yes, that's correct. So this is how you create a new line. Okay, I'll stretch it out like this so that it makes more sense. Okay, well, doesn't matter. I'm not going to waste your time with all of that, but basically this is I'm just going to make it smaller just a little bit. I hope you can still see it, but yeah, this is how you create an object, right? This is an object, and this is how you would basically access all the properties or methods that are within the object. So you can do many things. I mean, you can just create an object to hold different values. You could create, like for instance with this method is it console.logs, but you could make one which returns also a value. You could do many things with it, but an object is a very dynamic data type, and yes, it's very useful, especially when it comes to game development, and also in data sciences. You'll be working with this a lot, because it can hold a lot of information, and yes, it's easy to access, easy to manage. But yeah, in a nutshell, this is what an object is like. There are other ways of creating an object. Well, since this is about objects, I will just do it for you. This is another way that you would create an object. You would say function, and you say, let's say new obj. Yes. Yep. And then okay, so in this method you would create it like you would a function, but what would be different about this function is that all the properties, everything would start with this. So you'd say this dot name again, right? And then you'd say this dot surname, this dot surname again. And instead of you see in this object, then we're using commas, and here you would use semicolons to separate them. Say this dot occupation, and then you say this dot allergies. Okay, so you can already declare what that is, but you can also declare it afterwards. Another cool way about the system is that you could say name, and you could say surname, and you could say occupation, and then you could say allergies, right? And so how you would use that is that you say this dot name is equals to name, and then you could say equals this surname equals to surname. Then you could say equals to occupation. Then here you would say equals to allergies. Right, awesome. Not occupation, but occupation. So, and so how this works is that if you wanted to create an object, this is what you call a prototype. So meaning that from this object, you could duplicate it as many times as you want to. You could use this as a template, like as a blueprint for many objects. So how you would use it, you would say let's say new obj. We just write it in a different way. This is small. Let's just say new obj is equals to new obj, and then I could just write in the values already. I'd say table. I think I have to do it like this. Just as a table, and then I could just say modice, and then I'll say occupation. I'll say 3D artist, and then I'll say and here I'll just say false. Right. So now when I want to console.log the information in this new obj, I'll say obj.name, and let's see what this gives us. Okay, just so that we can differentiate it from all the other logs that we've made, I'll say this is the new object info. Right. Okay, just so that we can differentiate or be able to pick which one this is. Reference occupation is not defined. Say occupatio. Okay, so this is the new object info table. So now it printed it out. You can see that. What I'm gonna do is that let me just let me do it like this instead to save myself the time, so that I don't have to do it in every oh no. Okay, wait. Yes, this is the new object info table, and I could say again console.log new obj surname. Okay, let's just say I'll just make this true, that the allergy status is true. So we'll just say allergies, and let's see if this dude has allergies. It says true. And we'll say log, let's just say, okay, let's add another one. So this dot age, this dot age would be equal to age, and then let's make him 45 years old. Okay, so we'll just say another log, and then we'll say new obj dot age, and let's see, 45. Okay, so this is how you create objects. Okay, now here you created this is this way of creating object, and how you could use that as many times as you want. You could create another object here. I'll just say from that template, because this serves as a blueprint. You do not use it as it is, but you have to basically declare an object from this blueprint right here. So I say new obj2, right? And here I could change the information to say CPO, which, and I say Cyrus, Cypho, Cyrus, CPO, but this is a South African word. It's called CPO, but it doesn't matter. That's not important. And I'll say he's 13 years old, and I'll say occupation. Let's just say kindergarten. CPO is still in kindergarten. Any allergies? I say or maybe let's say false, just for variation's sake. And so I could just say I could just use all these logs here, and I'll just copy them over here, and I'll say I'll just change the new obj into obj2. So let's see what that does. Okay, so this is a new object. This is new object info, CPO, false, 13 years old. You get the point. You get the point. So this is pretty cool stuff. I'd say this is awesome stuff. So I would be really excited if I was you, to go to like play around with the stuff afterwards, and just familiarize yourself with it. Yeah, just be creative. This is the whole point. Be creative and do this as many times as possible, so that it's melted, so that it's welded in your head, so that you don't even have to think about it. Every time you think of an object, you just know what it is. So yeah, this will be all about objects. Just want to keep it simple, don't want to overload you with information. So play around with this, like I always say. And yeah, up until the next episode, I say have fun with this. I love you all. So till next time, love and peace, my brothers and sisters. I'm out. If you thought this video was good and helpful, please press that like button. For any questions or input, just remember to leave a comment. And if you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe to my channel and I'll keep more stuff coming your way.